Evening everyone, welcome to our new location here in my spare room. Don't look too much at the stuff behind me because it is just a lot of junk in there. As usual, we're just going to work for a bit of time on some of this stuff. We'll see if anyone's in the chat and we'll just take it from there. We'll stream for probably about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes. We might even go crazy and do an hour. Just see how we feel for time, really. It's also a chance for me to test this new webcam I've got set up. I spent a few days setting up an overhead camera so we can do live drawing. And speaking of live drawing, here is a live drawing. This is page 2 of the current anthology submission I'm working on for the 100s. And they've got a theme of sort of cryptids and mystical animals, you know. So I've got a 4-page story. This is page 2. I've already inked page 1. So if we can get a big chunk of this done tonight, we're halfway through inking. So let's talk you through the system that I've got going on here. I've got the light box that you've seen, brand new webcam. We'll talk about the saga of the webcam later on. I've got a desk mounted scissor arm, and it was sold for microphones, for DJs and that, and I've adapted it and modified it to take a webcam. So we've now got a semi-permanent streaming location, not 5 yards from my sleeping daughter. So if she starts up, we might have to pause the stream or even stop the stream. So advance warning there. I mean, I don't expect a lot of people to turn up tonight, but it's a chance to get this tested and out there, and fix any bugs that we might have. Okay, drawing with a Kuretake number 8. It's a fancy Japanese pen. I finally got some refills come through. I found a really cool shop online that sends them through. So I've got my ink guy now. I know I'm getting my ink cartridges from. Apart from that, my pencil layers underneath, although some of these panels, especially these two, I've sort of fudged it and done a few bits of pencil noodlings on top to sort of help cement some of the ideas. But we're going to sort of get cracking on this panel tonight, and well, we might get the whole lot done, who can say. So let's just have a look in the old chat. Hey, Mike's here. Thank you, Mike. Sorry. Thank you for your valuable input. Let me know if that's any better. I've maxed my mic. It is proper up there now, so I can't get any I can't get any louder, or let's put it this way, I'm not getting any louder. This is what you get. So take that as read. So I'll give you a few seconds to respond back, because I know there's lag and there's latency on these things. So better. Oh, thank you. Good sir, good sir, good sir. I've got confused which camera I'm on, so thanks, Mike. And in fact, right now, Mike, you are like my #1 watcher. You're my only watcher, so I'm hoping this is entertaining and there's nothing better on TV. And if there is, then you know I ain't gonna hold no grudge, But so yeah, let's get started, shall we? Because I've waffled on a fair bit right now. I've waffled on quite a lot. I don't want to just talk and not draw. I'd rather draw and talk a little bit. But let's go. Right, let's get a start with this here. I'm very conscious that I don't want to obscure with my hands, so I'm trying to sort of secure things down. My approach to using a Kuretake is to treat it very gently. It's got this really thin line quality I really love. I don't know if you saw, I put a video up yesterday of my first attempt at a 1 hour comic, which is a challenge started by my good buddy Marshall Lee over at Donkey Jaw Projects. And with that one I used a Tombow, which is more of a felt tip pen, and so that gave me a sort of range to sort of go sort of a bit like Kesh. Kesh has got a really distinct line quality when he does his brushwork, and I was going for that sort of look, and I think it worked quite well. Whereas this, I'm trying to use the line weight to suggest shadow, suggest weight, suggest form, you know, and still be economical as well, because there's lots going on here. I'm sorry, my head might intersect the shot now, because and if it is, I'm sorry, but this is a bit fiddly, this particular bit. There we go. I've made a bit of a boo-boo, so you can see my work in progress. This is Famine. Famine's got fancy robes on, mainly so that it will show off his emaciated form, and like an idiot, I never actually finished drawing his hands. So I will just quickly just block those in like so. Do that one. Yeah, this is a bit it's a little bit sort of jerry-rigged, some of the inking on this one, because I love the panel and I just worked out so quickly, and it was really nice to work loose, but when you actually come to refine the details you actually need a tighter pencil, and you know, we're just doing it on the fly. So anyway, back to it. Okay, hopefully my head won't obscure shot again. I can't avoid that, I'm sorry everyone. I just can't help but have big boofy hair. I'm supposed to get cut. Mrs. Hingley doesn't like the crazy hobo look, so I'm not a massive fan of it. It's just logistics more than anything else, you know. There's only so many hours in the day. The barbers that I go to is only open on certain evenings, and there's only certain times I can actually guarantee I'm not doing stuff. So I had an interesting week last week. I went to I mentioned it in my video at the start of last week. I was due to hear Chris Spaltman, I think it was. He's Chris Spaltman. Give a little presentation over at Cam Creatives, which is a sort of a social group for what people who call themselves creatives, and it's kind of strange because I've just met a lot of people who were like working in advertising there, which is kind of creative, but when you say to me creative, I'm thinking, you know, illustrator, painter, you know, comic book artist, like in the case of the guy giving the presentation. So I was a bit nonplussed meeting all these people who are sort of like, you know, oh, I'm a creative accountant, I'm an accounts manager for an advertising firm. So it's like, okay, well, do you paint? Do you draw? And it was difficult sort of trying to get an idea of who did what and why they were there. Also, I was a bit nonplussed at the fact that this place is full of advertising creatives and people who were big on communication and selling ideas. And this is the first time this group had met at this new venue, and no one thought to put a sign outside or any windows or anything. It comes to this location and there's loads of little rooms or sub rooms in there, and you know, best of luck trying to find the venue. I mean, it's kind of, you know, marketing 101, isn't it? Really, you if you're going to have an event, tell people where the event is, tell people when it's going to be, and get people every opportunity to actually get there and know where they're supposed to be going. I don't sound like I'm negative. I mean, it didn't cost anything to go. You know, I didn't pay for a ticket or anything. I just, you know, said I was going to go, and I turned up and went. But kind of wanted to have a little bit more in that, you know, a bit more actual marketing of the event, to say, look, it's happening here. This is the room it's happening in, and some signs to tell you where to go. You know, I don't think that's asking a lot. As you can see here, I've just putting in, this is war. This is, it's got like, can I describe it as a battle kilt? You know, it's one of them kilts made out of strips of leather with bits of metal on, connective. The sort of thing that Xena the warrior princess would have on. So yeah. So I'm quite happy that this stream so far, apart from the audio issues that Mike found at the start, thanks again for that, is not throwing up any major sort of bugs like the last time I tried to stream, where I just couldn't get my second webcam to work for love nor money. Hence the saga, which I can relate to you now, because the emotional scars have just about finished healing, of trying to get a cheap webcam quickly via eBay, and the fun and games that caused. So I can't remember when it was. It was just before Christmas, and I think it might have been like middle of January. Let's be generous and say middle of January. Panto was due to start. Mrs. Hingley was due to spend a week doing Panto. I was going to be looking after Polly most nights, so there's a chance here. She goes to bed at about 7:30. There's a chance I could stream for an hour, no problem at all. As it was, it fell by the wayside literally the first night because I could not get my second webcam to work. So I did a bit of a search on eBay and found someone selling a 50 megapixel small camera for the princely sum of £3, which is like, yes please, I'll have some of that. That would be a perfect addition to our setup. It's it's apparently a 50 megapixel camera, which is really good apparently, and the price ain't bad, and it's coming from Manchester, so you know. And if I order now, it'll get here by the end of next week, so it's about 10 days from Manchester. Now I could probably jump on a train and get to Manchester in say 3 hours. I could probably drive it in 4 or 5. So you'll imagine my surprise to find after 10 days no webcam. After 17 days, like a week later, I decided to cancel the order, and that's when I got an email from the seller, and that's when I found out that the seller's in Shanghai. So not best pleased, because the sale location, you know, the item location was Manchester. That's what they said. And if you've got a seller that's in, Shanghai, that suggests to me that they're just putting any old address or any other location in the country, because what does it matter? It's coming through a port, and that's probably the port it will come in through. So it's slightly misleading and not cool, man, not cool. So yeah, that gave me another problem now, which is how do I get another webcam? So I ended up sort of biting the bullet ultimately, and just nipping out and getting the first webcam I could find, which meant I went to what was equivalently, I believe it's Walmart or Target, or equivalent Tesco basically, and picking up this webcam, and it's been sat in the bag waiting to go, so that I can, it's been waiting for, I've been waiting for quite a while for an opportunity to actually do streaming. So you have to bear with me, I'm just checking some notes. Excuse me, this is yeah, okay. This is a lady in the reception. She has got the cutest little budgie in a cage. I'm going to try, let's bring that in so you can have a good old look. Or not. Okay, the Velcro range isn't great, but it works good for this, so take my word for it, it's there. Very tempted. I'm sort of tempted to just get a Sharpie for this bit, but I'm thinking I'll just do normal. Let's do an old check of the old messages. Nothing new, that's good. That's good, no new messages. Well, I mean, it's not good, but it's not terrible, if you're watching on the catch up, this is a return, some might say, to me streaming. But it's only a temporary sort of, almost like a one-off for one night only, just to test that the technology is working for me, because in the past it hasn't been very good. Yeah, so back onto this tail of the webcam. I'm very happy that this is working, and I'm quite happy with the picture resolution. I think it's pretty good for this sort of thing. So I'll be doing all kinds of cool videos with this now. Is the plan. And I can just hear the illustrious Mrs. Hingley just come through the door now. So I might just put this on pause for a second. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay guys, sorry about this, but I'm going to have to wrap it up. Mrs. Hingley just got back from her auditions, which went okay. We'll see what she gets, if she gets a part or not. Which meant that Polly has just woken up and she's been a bit crying. So I think I'll call it not tonight. Call it there for tonight. I'll continue working on this. You might see this again. It'll be finished. But I think it's a pretty good test. Before I go, let's just check any messages. Okay, no more messages. That's okay. That's all right. Well, if you're watching this on the catch-up, thanks for your patience. If you're watching this live, thanks for your patience. We'll see you again some other time when we're doing another one of these streams. And you guys all take care. And we'll see you later. All right. Bye now.